honest, we all set up an outdoor business for a reason. We had a dream, we had a thing we were working towards, and some of it was money, some of it was freedom, and some of it was lifestyle. You know, that whole blend of relationships, the adventures you want, the money, the work, the everything all in one. And in today's episode, what Mark and I want to talk about is that lifestyle that you dreamed of when you started up your business, is it truly possible? My name is Rob Yates, and I'm joined today with my co-founder of We Get Outdoors, Mr. Mark Hopkins. Hello there, Hobby.
Hello, sir.
How's the day?
It is, apart from just having to tell my son off, I'm always good.
So the joys of being able to pick your son up from school is you might have to give him a bollocking earlier in the day than otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. I gave him a bit of time off after school, and he took liberties of it.
Well,
so he felt the wrath of his father's goose.
Fantastic. Well, not fantastic, but it's stopped. I like it. So for those of you who don't know, Mark and myself, we are coaches and consultants who focus 100% of our time, effort, and energy on supporting outdoor and adventure businesses and brands to achieve their goals, whatever their goals look like in terms of shape or size. The purpose of this session is to get you to think harder, wider, maybe focus on some different things, and hopefully learn a thing or two as well. So, Mark, this whole idea of the lifestyle you dreamt of, what's your opening gambit around that?
It's very, 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 very possible.
Ooh. Okay. And so if we were to go out there and read lots of business books, and we were to go all over YouTube and take business advice, you'll see people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Billy Jean, and I could go on. The list would go at Tai Lopez, and they're all, hustle, work harder, the grind, the 14-hour back-to-back days, 7 days a week, so on and so forth, because that's what makes you successful. Are they just talking shit?
I think they're also they're talking to a different target market. I think they're talking to a target market that is very, very competitive. That is the latest craze, and therefore everyone wants to do it. So Billy Jean talks all about a social media marketer. Well, there are a million of those people out there now. Like be a entrepreneur, but the thing is, we are in a very, very niche, exciting area, which is the outdoor industry. Let's be honest, probably hasn't changed in the last 50 to 100 years as an industry. The model has just not changed.
Not really.
Whereas everything else, it hasn't changed. So hence, and also I think the outdoor business owner historically has been quite comfortable with a very, very, I use this with respect, simple life. They're very, very comfortable to spend time in the outdoors, spend a bit of time with clients, earn a bit of money, keep food on the table, keep heat in the house, and they don't really want for much. But that outdoor industry owner is changing. But what they do want is they do want the same kind of lifestyle, but they now want to have a lot more shiny stuff as well. They want to have the trucks, they want to have the big houses, they want to go on the holidays, and they want to go and hang out with their customers as well. And I still believe it's possible.
Well, I think our experience is that it is possible. But here's the thing, it's perfectly possible to have all of the time you want in the world and be a hippie. But normally that equates to not being able to afford medical insurance and not being able to grow your business and not being able to market your business and always waiting for your sponsor to give you the next kayak or the next jacket or the next whatever it may well be, because you can't afford to buy it yourself at retail price. And I think there's a thing that's trapping people in the outdoor industry, trapping business owners in the outdoor industry, that is that they look to do the outdoor industry in what they would say is a unique way. But in business terms, they pretty much just cut and paste what everybody else has been doing for the past 30 years without any real adaptations and thoughts. And then they're surprised that they work 48 to 50 weekends of the year, don't ever see their family, and struggle to take home $100,000 to $200,000 a year. And by take home, I mean put it in the back pocket and go and pay your home loan and pay your car and your vacation and your kids' school fees and whatever else, and struggle to reach those sort of numbers for themselves. And it's all because we're having the lifestyle in terms of time, but we're not having the lifestyle in terms of luxuries, maybe nice things. And nice things can be opportunities, aren't they? Nice things don't have to be a Ferrari. It could be 4 weeks climbing in the Himalayas. It doesn't have to be materialistic stuff. It could be materialism in terms of 20 weeks vacation a year, where you can actually go to the places you want to go to on the flights you want to take, all that with the gear that you want to have with you, and the people, and doing it for yourself, not for your customers. So at the moment, I don't see very many outdoor business owners who have the blend of the income that they want, the impact that they want to have on the world, with the size of business that's sustainable if they're not there, and the relationships and the family time and the house and so on and so forth. I don't see very many who truly have that blend. So, Mark, what do you think are some of the traps that outdoor business owners are falling into that are preventing them having that blend they want? Excuse me.
That's you.
Bless me.
Luckily, you're not dead.
Not yet.
Not yet. I think that the traps are very similar to, if I look back at what my dad did 30 years ago, how he lived his life. And I think you're a bit polite around. I think the outdoor business industry, quite bluntly, is probably 15, 20 years behind other industries, because their model is very much dictated to by what the outdoor industry, what the outdoor owner wants to do for themselves, rather than how can we build something that's so attractive to customers, plural, that makes my life easier. So I think that's so. The first thing to get a lifestyle is to understand that sometimes you're going to have to add a few layers into your business that might not be 100% aligned to exactly what you want to do, but will allow you in the future to do it more than you can ever imagine. So I think that's the first thing. I think the second thing is to realize that where Vaynerchuk and all those guys, it's very, very, especially in the outdoor, you're not going to have a lifestyle within the first 2 months you've dreamt of. Just not going to happen. You're not suddenly going to create a business, have thousands of customers coming in within a week, and then work 2 hours a day and go and buy the house 3 weeks later. Just not going to happen. You've got to put the right kind of foundations in place, and you've got to be a little bit patient that says, okay, for the next 2 years, I'm working towards a lifestyle. And it's almost a little bit like, as you drink glasses. The glass is full at the start. And that's when you've got the energy, you're building your business, and slowly you're sipping the glass as your business starts growing. And then eventually you look at your glass and you go, shit, my glass is empty and I've got the lifestyle I want because I put the time and effort in. It's a pretty crap analogy, to be honest, but I'll come up with a better one. That really is shit. I'm really thirsty and I was looking at my glass of water and I was like, okay, that'll do. But that's a really crap analogy. So yeah, I think what they can do is be a bit realistic, be a little bit patient. They do not focus 100% on what makes you an expert today, because what makes you an expert today is probably going to hamstring you in 3 to 6 months' time. It's going to trap you. think a little bit broader from that. And if you do want to know what we mean, then below you'll see the link and jump on a call and we can explain it in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, come on. We've got a free training program for outdoor business owners at the end of June 2021, and another one, I think, in August or September 2021 that you can come along and sign up on and find out more. My thought also, Mark, it's very hard to get what you want if you don't know what it is that you want. So, if there's a certain lifestyle that you like, X amounts of weeks vacation, X amount of money, time with family and friends, doing the outdoor sport that you love, doing it for yourself in your as a part of your work, so on and so forth. You can't actually go get it or engineer your business to give it to you unless you can define what it is that you actually want. And I don't think it has to be overly complicated. It can be as simple as, I want to pick my kids up from school every day. Like that could be it. That makes you unique from 99% of the rest of the working world, because 99% of people who work full-time don't get to rock up at school at 3-ish o'clock and pick their kids up from school on a daily basis. Most of those, if you have a full-time job, most people's kids end up in some form of aftercare. It could be that simple. It could be to say that actually I can work from 5 to 8 a.m. at my desk, and then I can go trail running from 8 till 12 if that's your outdoor passion. Or if you're into hunting, maybe you can go to the range and go and do target practice, or whatever it may well be that's your thing. I'm going to do that from 8 till 12, and then I'm going to go and sit at my desk and do another 3 hours work. Then I'm going to pick my kids up from school, and by that point in time, I've done 6 hours of solid work today, and with a little bit of ducking and diving in the evenings and weekends, I actually can do my outdoor sport every day of the week and love it without having to trap myself in the usual grind. And it's interesting, Mark, you and I have had this conversation around how you see Seth working, your son, when he's older. And what really, really strikes me is how many outdoor business owners who've got the complete and utter freedom of what time of day they work still work 9 till 5.
It's bloody ludicrous. As I said, 9 till 5 came about in the Industrial Revolution.
It was 1880.
There you go. Because it allowed the foreman to press a button which turned on the conveyor belt, the production line. At 12 o'clock, he pressed the button again, which stopped it for lunch. 1 o'clock, he turned it back on. And 5 o'clock, he turned it off. 9 to 5 was purely to ensure that the production line worked. I don't know about you, Rob, but in my circle of friends, I do not know one person who works on a production line with a button that starts it and stops. I don't know one person. And also, I am pretty sure in today's society that there's an opportunity to do things away from a production line at any time of day you choose to. So why? Okay, there's certain things that you have to do, like schools. That drives me insane. But anyway, I've got to sit in traffic to take my son to school every morning. Getting back's not too bad. But people who sit in rush hour traffic because everybody's trying to get to work between 7:30 and 9. Seriously, what are you doing? There is a million ways better time. Like I used to start I still do it. I go and do my shopping either at like 9 o'clock at night when there's no one there, or like at 2:30 in the afternoon, or 10 o'clock in the morning. Great to go shopping. There's no one there. There's no traffic on the road. There's parkings everywhere. It's bloody easy. So when you look at your outdoor business, the problem you have is you are on autopilot. Like you think you have to do something because everyone else does it. So basically, you're just following the worst example ever. So you're not very clever. So actually, start being clever and going, how can I work around my business that gives my customers what they want and gives me the freedom to do what makes me happy?
Yeah. I just look at...
So hence the lifestyle is incredibly profitable. And like Rob said, it can be.
I just look at my day to day, Mark. You know, I this morning I took my daughter to school. We were very late this morning. Admittedly, she only got to school at 8:45, and then I went to Lower Africa, you know, the boot brand, and hung out there for a while. And then I went and hung out at a brand called Johnson for a bit. And I think I got to my desk at 11 this morning, and I'm going to go and see my daughter in half an hour's time. And you've already got your son at home today. You've picked him up from school. That's that bit done. This evening, I'm going to do an hour's work while my wife's putting the kids to bed. But I've got probably more done today in the short, focused 3 or 4 hour blocks that I've got than most people will do just trapping themselves at their desk. And do you know how many traffic queues I've sat in today?
Not one.
Not one. Just cruised around in my truck, went from A to B, no traffic jams, no nothing. And I live in a city of 15 million people. Like, that's quite hard to achieve. However, if I tried to get to my desk for 8 o'clock in the morning, I guarantee I'd have spent an hour this morning sat in traffic.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. And I think the bit that we're sort of jumping around, but what we're saying is, if you actually structure and focus on high quality work in chunks of time that you can manage with things that excite you to do after those chunks of time, you will achieve more than the 14 hours of grind that Gary Vaynerchuk and those guys say you have to do. Because yes, you and I, Rob, easily can sit at our desk for 14 hours. Not a problem. We'd work and we'd get stuff done. I still believe that if we looked at the clock for 14 hours and ignored the clock for 6 hours, there wouldn't be too much difference.
No, I can. I know how I work, and if I do 2-3 hour chunks in a day, I get 14 hours worth of work done, easy. Especially if there's a decent break in between them. If I go and do something that I enjoy doing in between them and like re-stimulate my mind, I know how much I can get done in 3 hours, and it's huge.
So I've got a question for you. Do you feel that the outdoor business are embarrassed?
Embarrassed?
Yeah, so because they're not working 7, 8, 10 hours a day on their business or in their business, which is a lot more likely, that they're embarrassed to say that I'm only working 4 or 5 hours a day today.
I think people would be, because it goes against that, like, especially guys, it goes against that male perception of having to push hard and work hard and do this and do that and do whatever else. But I'm also think that there's fear involved. If I only actually work for 5 hours a day, will I actually be able to go and achieve what it is that I need to achieve? Question mark. Will I be even more broke than I am already? Maybe another question that people may well ask. And there's also a bit there that people don't know. There's also guilt as well, Mark, about, well, it's, I don't know, it's Thursday today. It's Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. They feel guilty because everybody else is at work grinding, and then they want to go kayaking for 2 hours. And they feel guilty about that. And then they end up spinning on the spot in that sort of, how would you describe it? Like almost paralysis of analysis about not knowing what to do. So they just spin on the spot and do nothing.
That's a really good point, because some of my best ideas happen when I'm swimming.
Where do my best ideas come from, Mark?
You can keep that to yourself.
You know, so every here in my spare time, which I probably have more than most, Mark,
the weekends and DIY.
That's it.
Just kills me.
DIY and whatever else. Mark gets bombarded by WhatsApp messages with, "I've solved this problem. Here's the solution. I've got this great idea. You don't have to answer now. Just ignore me till 3 days' time." When I go hiking as well, I'm sure, Mark, when you were away hiking last week, you were away Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the mountains. I'm sure that time for you, while it wasn't at work, I bet as you're trudging along, your brain is actually processing work stuff and like reevaluating things you're doing and coming up with new decisions or new solutions or so on and so forth. And so some people might say, oh, well, that Thursday, Friday you had off in the mountains, that's lost work time. I'd say it's some of the most important work time where you actually don't have your phone ringing, email zapping you and all that shit.
100%. That's right. Yeah, 100%. I think that's it's a critical point for outdoor business owners to realize is what is just because the societal norms says that you are only working if you're in front of your laptop or phoning a customer, that's when you're working. It's the biggest load of crap. You're working when your brain is thinking problems, solving problems, analyzing problems, coming up with solutions. That's working. And recognize that you've got to know within yourself. Rob, and we said before, you go and take 2-3 days off just to go and do your stuff. And it's not leave, it's work, but it's not laptop work. But it's massive amount of work. It's probably the most, like you said, the most powerful, productive work that you do. So I think outdoor business, it goes back to what you're saying earlier. Societal norms tell us certain things. And if you're a brave outdoor business owner, look at societal norms, see if they actually benefit you or get in the way. And the ones that get in the way, laugh at them and laugh at other people who question you on what you're doing because they're just jealous and got fear driving them to do something. Know what makes you tick. Know where you're at your most liberal, your most free, your most calm and your most clear. Spend as much time in that. And maybe if that's your lifestyle, jeepers, you've just achieved what I said was possible at the start. An outdoor business that allows you to have the lifestyle that you want.
That's it. Now, one of the best pieces of advice out there is go and find people who have got what you've got and go copy what they do, which is great advice. But I think that there's very few outdoor business owners who truly have the ideal lifestyle that they actually want, with all of the time, money, relationship, adventure, rewards that they want. So just copying somebody who you think has got a bigger version of your business could be a solution, but be very, very careful that those people are working the amount of hours per week that you would like to work. They're earning the amount of money after tax in their bank account every month that you want to earn. They're having the vacation time that you want to have to the places places you want to go to with the people you'd like to go with, so on and so forth. Otherwise, you'll just end up a slave in your business, just like that person probably is. And really, you won't have any of the lifestyle you want. So by all means, go copy people, but being sure what you're copying is going to give you what you want. Otherwise, you're just going to end up in the same situation you are in now or worse.
That is such good advice.
Cool. The last piece of advice is be a unicorn. That's my last piece of advice. Be a unicorn. If you want what you want, you're going to have to do differently to what everybody else does. Because that just will allow you to have what you want. So the more you're a conforming horse, the more you're just going to be part of whatever the group of horses is called in the paddock, all wandering around together. You've got to go and strap a horn to your forehead, jump the fence of the paddock and go and break free and be a unicorn. And suddenly you'll have the lifestyle that you want. And also you truly will be a leader in your field.
Boom. That's the wisdom of Yates.
Drop the mic. So, this mic's expensive. If any of you want any more information, ideas, suggestions, we've got these week-long boot camps coming up. We're doing them 4 or 5 times a year. Go and check the link below for when the next one is, completely free of charge to help outdoor business owners grow their outdoor business, get the lifestyle they want and not become a slave in their own business. And if you want some time one-to-one with Mark or myself, there's a link there to our schedules. We give about 4 to 5 hours a week, each of us, to helping people at no cost to that person. So if you're interested in that, go book a call as well. But apart from that, we look forward to seeing you next week. In closing, Mark, anything from yourself?
If you are really wanting to make a difference, listen to what Rob said. Think about the lifestyle that you really want to lead, and then find somebody who's doing that and learn from them. Don't just go and follow the person who's the loudest. Sometimes they're the loudest because they're the most desperate.
Cool. That's it from us. Stay awesome. We'll see you next week.